have one little thing.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the 19th annual. I just had a brain fart. This is the Garden State Film Festival. I was like, wait, where am I? Who am I? My name is Ming Chen. We're at the Shared Universe Podcast Lounge at the film festival, located inside the Berkeley Oceanfront Hotel. I'm here with filmmaker Karl Shefelman. Did I pronounce that right?
You did indeed.
That is amazing. He has an amazing film, amazing short called Man on the Tower, before I begin with the synopsis, this centers around the 1966 Texas Tower mass shooter sniper incident that happened in Austin, Texas. And before we go into it, I read the synopsis, I watched the trailer, and then I went on this deep rabbit hole of doing all kinds of research over why this happened, how this happened, which led me to other mass shootings at the time, and then and unfortunately something like this is relevant even now, 50 years later. But your trailer was amazing. I haven't seen the whole short yet. We're going to save that for for the screening here at the film festival. But it centers around, I think, three kids who were in 1966. They're just out playing, and all of a sudden this incident breaks out, and you tie it all together, which is amazing. What inspired all of this? Are you from Texas?
I'm originally.
Something happen that?
Turn your screen this way just a little bit.
Sure.
I'm originally from Austin, Texas.
Okay.
And I was in fact alive at that time, so I am.
You don't look that old.
I'm an old guy.
Not at all. You look like I would have pegged 40s, which
Nice.
70s kid.
You just made my day. So yes, 1966, I was an 8-year-old kid, and my father was a professor at the University of Texas in Austin.
Wow, so he was there.
And he was there. The actual incident, it's based on the actual incident and my experience. My mom and my little brother and I came home from doing the laundry, and a neighbor came running across the street saying there's a man shooting people on the tower. So our first thought was, oh my God, Dad's up there. We ran inside, turned on the radio. We didn't have a TV at the time. Mom didn't believe in TV at the time. And we heard the live newscast, which is actually used in the film by Neil Spelce of the local TV station.
So you were able to track it down, the original newscast.
Yeah.
It was archived somewhere.
And we heard sirens and everything. And then we went on the back porch and we could see the tower. We were within a mile of the tower, and we could see little puffs of smoke. And, where's Dad? And make a long story short, he came home at the end of the day and told us what happened. So that's kind of all that really happened for us. But I took that actual event and made a fictional story where the kids try to go save their dad on the campus and go down on this creek bed and go on this ridiculous sort of Stand By Me adventure to save Dad.
Yeah, which I thought you captured great in the trailer.
Thank you.
I saw that trailer. I was like, oh man, this looks suspenseful, and it's a period piece. And I thought you captured it really well.
Thank you.
If you go onto YouTube, you can see news footage.
Oh yeah.
Of this incident, you can see the puffs of smoke and the very loud gunshots. Coming out from the tower.
Well, those newscasts, Neil Spelce was the reporter.
Okay.
Called a Red Rover. He was in a car and he broadcast live from the shooting. And his actual broadcast is in the film. I use it in the film because I basically have invented a little girl to come running over to these two brothers playing in their backyard, and she has a radio, and she's listening to the live broadcast.
Right.
So that's used throughout the film.
Yeah, and so it looks like you were able to find a lot of just kind of footage to tie it in. You kind of worked the tower archival footage into this, or did you?
No, there's just some still photos at the beginning, but there is a shot of the tower Where I grew up was over this creek. It was up on a bluff.
Okay.
We could see the tower pretty clearly. And I actually tried to go shoot the film in the actual yard where I grew up, but it was all grown over,
Okay.
too small, and the people that live in the house were not friendly. We found a house 3 houses down from
Okay.
where I grew up, a much bigger yard, and you can literally see the tower from that yard, and that's how we shot. Actual live shot of the tower, and then we put in
Okay.
some smoke.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was like. Wow, how did
I fooled you. You thought that was an actual archival shot.
Yeah, if I remember it is in color in the trailer.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So
Yeah.
I was like, wait a minute, like where did this come from? Or
Yeah, well, what we did was we shot a plate, the kid's point of view of the tower through the trees,
Yeah.
and we did some CGI and got rid of the modern architecture that's there now, and then we put puffs of smoke on the tower.
This is like a ILM Star Wars level CGI, but to keep
But
it
we
accurate
did it-
to the period.
We did it with some favors. We did it for free.
Yeah. So you were 8 years old. So you remember, you have fairly clear memory of this day.
Yeah, I mean,
1966?
I mostly remember coming home from doing the laundry with my mom, running inside, turning on the radio, and then going on the back porch. I don't really remember what my dad was like when he came home, what his demeanor was like. He possibly helped save or tried to help a victim.
Okay.
And that's in the story. I don't know if that's for real or not, but my memory of the witnessing the tower is very real. And I have to tell you, I witnessed the 9/11 World Trade Center from my rooftop in my West
Wow.
Village apartment, and it reminded me of this. And obviously a much bigger deal, but it reminded me. So I wrote the story down several years ago, and then I made it into a film.
Wow. Yeah, and it was a pretty crazy incident. Clearly meant to be.
It wasn't the first mass shooting ever in the
Right.
United States, but it was the first big mass shooting on a public college
Right.
campus, on a school campus.
Yeah, and I think 16 people killed, 31
16
injured.
people, including his mother and wife,
Okay.
and then 39 injured, 39 wounded.
Yeah, and I think the thing that struck me was, he was shooting, and I hear, some of the guards were like, "Oh, I think we're all clear now," and some of those people left, and they got shot because it wasn't all clear. There was a lot of confusion.
Yeah.
And when you have a guy up on a high tower, like how do you neutralize him? How do you stop him?
The cops weren't armed at that time.
Yeah.
So all these hunters and red, good old boys went and got their deer rifles
Right.
and tried to shoot them from down below. But in the film, you only see the tower from a distance. We don't go to the actual shooting. You hear it on the radio. There's actually a really good, if you're interested in doing research, there's a good documentary about it called Tower that came out in 2016,
Right.
which is animated. And then there's all sorts of news file footage on it too.
Yeah, I did last night. I just started doing just minor research on it last night, but then I ended up staying up for an hour or so just
Yeah.
going on there, and then that led me to other mass shootings that happened afterwards.
Yeah.
And and it's crazy that it's very relevant now. I mean, we just had 2 mass shootings within the last 2
Yeah,
weeks, which is unfortunate. But
It's weird because when I made the film, mass shootings were on a lot of people's minds,
Sure.
and then COVID sort of wiped all that out.
Yeah.
And President Trump,
Yeah.
his shenanigans. And so it was sort of like, well, it's not relevant anymore. But sadly now, with these 2 recent shootings, it is.
Yeah, for sure. And if you look into the backstory, Charles Whitman.
Yeah, Charles Whitman.
He had tried to get help. He knew something was wrong. I mean, he admitted it.
Yeah.
I think he may have even said that he had fantasies about going up there.
Yeah.
And then he did it, and it's unfortunate that it could have been prevented had they taken mental illness and mental health a little more seriously back then.
I mean, again, this film focuses on these kids.
Yeah.
And the sort of the theme of it is it's not safe anymore. We used to run at will, playing around the creek bed, and
staying out till the sun went down, and
then this happened, and it's just like it's not safe anymore. So and you'll see that in the film. You'll see that dramatized in the film.
Wow. I'm happy you were able to go back to Austin and shoot 3 doors down from where you grew up.
It was a huge thrill to do that.
Yeah, and just shoot in places that you remembered as a kid.
Literally,
and just on location.
Shot the film in my playground as a kid growing up.
That's amazing. How long did it take from inception until completion?
Well, I had the story written down years ago, but then I got the idea to make the film, and I went to a writer to sort of help me fictionalize it a little, get it out of my head.
Yeah.
And that was about 6 months before we shot, and she wrote a couple of drafts of the script, and then I rewrote it, and then I prepped everything as much as possible from New York.
Yeah.
I found a point person in Austin who pulled a crew together, and then I went down there and did the location scouting and all that. The actual shoot was 2 days.
Wow. Okay. So so you were.
It was tight.
Yeah.
And because I was working with kids and I knew it was going to be a tight schedule, I storyboarded every shot.
Oh, okay.
Which I do anyway.
Yeah, but that just makes the process go quicker.
I'm actually a professional storyboard artist.
Okay, that's.
So I storyboard everything. I did a pre-production visit to the locations with my DP and my sound person, had everything all figured out to the T so that I could work with these kids, because their attention span is always strained, to say the least.
Oh yeah, for sure. And then you're under restrictions. They can only work certain hours.
Yeah.
So you got to maximize the time you have with them.
Yeah.
Are any of the kids kind of based on you, or did you kind of make
your
own memories?
I was 8. The main kid in the film, I upped to 11,
Sure.
just so he could be a little more in charge.
Yeah.
So I'm actually the little brother's age, but we would play Army with guns.
Sure.
And sometimes we played World War II, sometimes we played the Civil War,
Right.
sometimes we played cowboys, and so but we didn't always agree on what we were. So
No, of course, yeah.
in the film, one of the kids is a cowboy and the other is a World War II soldier.
Yeah. So
But we're
you're mixing genres.
the
but hey.
irony was intended that they're playing guns and then suddenly something real happens.
Yeah.
And it shakes their world completely.
Yeah.
So that's sort of the idea.
Yeah, and I don't. You said your house was about a mile from the tower.
Yeah.
And I think there were. This man Charles Whitman was a sharpshooter. I think he hit people from
A quarter
500 yards out,
Yeah.
which is no small feat.
Well, I remember being on the back porch and saying to my mom, I wonder if he could shoot us.
Yeah. I think that was a feeling for kind of most of the city within eyeshot of the towers. Like, we could get hit.
I mean, he did a military style tower, sniper's nest tower shooting.
Yeah,
And-
highly trained,
Yeah.
and he lugged a footlocker up there.
Yeah.
Which he was aiming to be there for a while.
Yeah.
Had provisions, tons of ammo. I don't know how many, got 7, 8 firearms.
Yeah,
maybe
he had
more.
a whole arsenal.
Food and
And it was, it was a little Austin, Texas, which is like a little hippie town. at
yeah,
the time,
even back then
Yeah,
with the
so
university.
It was crazy, but well, the other fun story was that I wanted a tree house in the story because we start off one kid's in the tree house shooting at his little brother down on the ground.
So it's like a parallel.
Yeah, and we always had a tree house in our yard, so that was a big challenge. How am I going to find not only a backyard where we can see the tower,
Right.
but they'll allow us to build a tree house.
Yeah.
So we found this neighbor's house down the street from where I grew up, and I walked in the backyard, and there's a tree house already there.
If that's not fate, I don't know what
it
is.
was like a platform, and we built it up to make it look more like kids built
Sure,
it,
yeah.
like Stand By Me.
Okay, right. Look at the one plank, maybe.
But the owner of the house was just so hospitable
Right.
and helped build the tree house. And then I'm standing there, and we did some casting with a casting agent for the kids, and his kid comes running up. He's 11 years old. I looked at him, and I said, And he started showing off how he could climb up and down in the treehouse and then climb down the cliff. And I said, "Have you ever acted?" And he said, "Oh, I'm in some classes." And I said, "You're it.
Get ready. Block off your next 2 days because."
So the other two kids, I did go through a casting director who was actually also in the film. The actress who plays the mother was also my casting director.
Oh wow! Okay.
Yeah.
What was the biggest challenge that you had shooting those 2 days? Was it the child actors? Was there a location?
Probably the heat.
Okay, good point.
And
what time of year did you?
We shot it.
I think this happened.
This happened August 1st.
Okay, that's right. Which is my birthday. That's why.
Happy birthday!
Yeah, not 1966. I was born 8 years later. But,
right.
Yeah.
It was the heat. I mean, we shot it in late September, hoping to avoid the heat, but
Texas, my friends.
no, it was
Texas, my friends.
It was brutal.
Yeah.
So it was the heat. It was climbing with gear from the yard down below down a cliff to this creek to shoot that part of the film. There was one nosebleed by the lead actor that just wouldn't go away.
It's always something and you can't predict it.
But fortunately, I was very pre-planned, and we got through it all. We got every shot that we wanted. I had a great crew, and also my DP and I really put a lot of time into the look, the period look. We wanted this sort of brown, golden feel to it with primary colors to make it look like 1966.
Right.
And so she used filters, and she tried to do as much as possible before post. So it wasn't all done in post.
So it looked as natural as possible.
Yeah, but then she did the color correction as well.
Speaking of your DP, what did you shoot this on for anybody who's interested in
she shot it
technical
on
details?
Blackmagic.
Oh wow, okay.
Basically, she owned the camera, so that's what we shot on.
Yeah,
so.
It's like, wait, you have great cameras? Okay, great.
Yeah.
We're pack them up. We're going to use them.
And we had a great sound team. We literally had a 3-person sound team just because of the challenges of being in the woods and using radio mics. So my sound person was really, really good, David Gutierrez.
Shout out to David.
Shout out to David. Shout out to Tori, the DP. And shout out to my whole crew and my cast. It really came together.
That's amazing. Have you shown this to anybody who maybe witnessed the event?
Oh, yeah.
There? And what kind of feelings did you get from them?
Well, the biggest reaction I get is from, there's a Facebook group called Dazed and Confused. It's an Austin, Texas historic Facebook page. And I posted the trailer there, and people went crazy. And then I've been in several festivals already, so people were able to see it at those various festivals. And
I imagine the reception's been pretty good.
Yeah, it's been good. Some people I didn't really want to relive this, but for the most part, people liked it.
Yeah, that's amazing. So screening, I'm trying to remember the date and time again. The St. James Block.
James Block.
Is, 6 to 8 p.m. online. Is that Saturday?
Yeah, that's tomorrow, yes.
Tomorrow, Saturday, okay.
March 27th. Here's
we got, I'm definitely keeping one here, but, and I see laurels up here, so you've,
yeah, you got to collect the laurels.
Oh yeah, you got to collect the laurels. Yeah. That's amazing. Congratulations on this. Are you working anything right now? Is there a website for the short? Do you have a production company website? Is there Instagram? I'll plug everything, my friend.
Yeah, there's. I have a Vimeo page, Karl Shefelman, director.
Okay.
Where all my films are. I've done one feature film that's available on Amazon. Let's see. There's a Facebook page for this film. I'm currently working on another script to be shot in Austin, a crime story. And I also have a screenplay that just won a jury award at the Socially Relevant Film Festival in New York.
Oh, okay.
Called The Hunters. So got all these various irons in the fire, and I'm trying trying to find producers, trying to find
Yeah,
get another film going.
the usual.
Yeah, the usual,
Producers,
yeah.
Funding, crew, cast,
Yep.
just great people to work with. Are you in Texas now, or where
No, I live in New York.
You live in New York.
Yeah, I
okay.
went to NYU Film School, and I've lived there ever since. So
That's fantastic. But you still have the Texas.
still
the
got
Texas is still in
I
you.
still Texas in me. My mom's still in Austin. So,
Oh wow, okay.
So we go down there like once or twice a year. Well, we did before
Yeah.
the pandemic. But
I just think that it was cool that you were able to return there and shoot as well.
it's the biggest thrill, and like I said, I'm writing a feature film now, not a different story
Right.
that I want to shoot down there as well. So
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So definitely check it out. If you're at a film festival, you can check it online here at the Garden State Film Festival, gsff.org. You can grab the access to the online stream.
yeah, if you're on Facebook, I've been posting a lot about the screening at this festival.
Yeah.
So
And I can't wait to check out the complete. It's 12 minutes.
it's about 12 minutes.
12 minutes. That's amazing. Thank you, Carl. I really appreciate
Thank you, man.
you stopping by and being here at the festival. And yeah, if you need more of these, I got them here all weekend. So hey man, Texas. This is I've been down there. I know. I try to make you feel welcome here. So
Thank you.
Yeah, but
well, I've been in New York for over 30 years, so I feel like a New Yorker, but I still got that little flavor.
Oh yeah. You never lose the flavor.
Yeah.
You never lose the flavor. So
Yeah.
thank you so much. Congratulations.
Oh, and also
on
this film is dedicated to my father, who passed away 4 years ago. So you'll see that dedication at the end of the film.
Wow. And
So it's a very personal film for me.
yeah,
as well.
and he was there. He was right
was
in the
there.
middle of it. So
Teaching School of Architecture.
wow. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Ming.
And great luck this weekend. I'm looking forward to hanging out with you as well. So
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Karl Shefelman, everybody. Man on the Tower. Definitely check it out. And thank you. Thank you, everybody, for watching. And we'll be here all weekend at the Garden State
Just
Film
realized
Festival.
I'm always looking at you, and that's
No,
that's
you
weird.
can. No, you can. No, you look. See you guys later.
All right.